Up to this point, our uses of conditional formatting have been based on conditional formats based in Excel. So if I look here at conditional formatting, we did highlight cells, top bottom rules, data bars, color scales, icon sets. But you can create formats based on your knowledge of Excel formulas. Let's give you two examples of this, one in this video and one in the next one. So what we have here are quarterly revenues for Amazon.com, 1995 through 2015. And we'd like to highlight in green whenever revenues go up and red whenever they go down. So first quarter of 1996, revenues went up, that would be green. Now, in the first quarter of 2001, revenues went down, that would be red. And nothing we've learned so far would allow us to do this, but we can do this with what's called the formula option in Excel. So how does this work? Well, how would you know if revenue went up in a given quarter? You would compare it to the quarter before. You might say equals, does that first quarter of 1996, is that bigger than the quarter before? And what Excel will put in there, you may or may not know this, if that statement is true, it puts a true in there, otherwise a false. So I'll just copy that down. And there you see a false. Revenue went down the first quarter of 2000, mainly because the fourth quarter is always good for Amazon. Okay, so the idea would be whenever there's a true here, we would like to put a green in the revenue column. Whenever there's a false here, put a red. And basically that's what the conditional formatting formula option lets us do. Lets us create formats based on a formula. So if we go home conditional formatting, new rule in a minute, we'll be able to do that. First, we have to select the range where the format goes. Now we don't select E5. Why not? Because there's no prior quarter to compare row 5 to. We start in row 6. So it's very important. Your formula has to be relative to the first cell in the range you select. So I'll start here, Control Shift down arrow. I'll do conditional formatting, new rule, which we haven't used, and then use a formula. Okay, so we would say equals E6 greater than E5. Now this copies like a normal formula, so you don't want dollar signs, because when you copy it down, you want it to be E7 greater than E6. That says, is the current quarter sales bigger than the quarter before? So I'll say fill, and I want that to be green. Okay, so now whenever sales went up, that'll be green. We can see that right there. Now we want to make sure we highlight every row where sales went down in red. So we have to again select the same range, Control Shift down arrow, go to conditional formatting, go new rule, use a formula. And now when would, in row 6, would we highlight it in red? I know sales didn't go down, but we would highlight it in red if row 6 was less than or equal to row 5. So we would type that there. So we'd go Format, Fill, Red, click OK, and then click OK. And now we see every quarter where sales went down were highlighted in red. So notice it's green whenever there's a true here and sales went up, and it's red whenever we see a false there and sales went down. Here they had a bad stretch. 3 quarters in a row, sales went down. Fourth quarter is almost never red because that's such a good quarter for Amazon. But that gives a great visual summary of the ups and downs of the revenues of Amazon. And of course, it could be applied to another company. And our final video on conditional formatting will show you another example of the formula option where it's really important to understand when you dollar sign and when you don't dollar sign.